All ladies and gents, this is Mythology by the internet historian Incognito Mode channel. I was about to tune off for the day, but then I saw that internet historian released a video, and I'm like, damn, I just reacted to one of his videos just a few days ago. He's putting out videos really fast. That's unusual of him, and he's commenting that he's gonna upload another video on his main channel, so that's going to be awesome. So mythology, I know a bit about Greek mythology myself. I know a lot about Greek mythology. I won't say that I know everything about it because it's so vast, but I know a lot about it. So Greek mythology, tales of Gilgamesh, of Hades, Zeus, Poseidon. One of the most famous mythologies, Clash of the Titans. It's not just a movie, it's one of the origin mythology. So basically there was darkness and chaos before there was anything. Out of chaos the earth was created, mountains were created, sky was created, sun was created. That's the mythology. In that sky is Uranus. I know how to pronounce Uranus. So sky, basically, which is Uranus, came together with earth. Basically they had sex, so came together with earth and created the children, Titans. Uranus was basically worried that his kids, Titans, would overthrow him, so he basically trapped them inside the earth, encased them somehow. Then one of the Titans, Kronos, toppled Uranus. So then he married his sister Rhea, and they had the kids, Hades, Poseidon, etc. There was, I think, 5 of them. So they're kids. But Kronos had the same fear Uranus had. So Kronos, basically what he did was ate his children, as you do. And then Rhea was about to give birth to her last kid. But she knew that Kronos is basically going to eat that kid. So what she did was gave him a rock in some kind of blanket or something, who knows, and gave him like, this is your kid, and he ate it. And she basically deceived him, thinking that he ate the kid too, last kid, but she gave birth to that kid in some mountains, and that kid was Zeus. So Zeus got bigger. Then he went to the Kronos, gave him some kind of drink, and he vomited all the kids out, because obviously they were all intact, in perfect shape. They didn't get digested. So all the kids came out, and all the gods band together and fought Titans. They defeated the Titans. War lasted a long time, and the gods became the rulers. There was also some talk about defeating giants too, but that's the gist of it. So that's basically Clash of the Titans. There are tons of stories like that, tons of mythology. If I start talking about it, only the intro is going to take an hour or something before I even start the video. So let's watch how many mythology internet historian covers in this one. It's a half an hour video, thank God. So let's watch it.
Mythology. Mythology. What is mythology? Everyone get down, this is a mythology. Is this a mythology? Take me to the treasure room, I want to see it. I will speak the magic words. Open sesame. I knew they were hiding it. Anyway, here's that deposit I wanted to make. Aha! What's this? The mythological Holy Grail? I won't be needing this for another 6 months. All this and more on this episode of In the Quarantine.
Do you know the story of Orpheus?
Is that the guy that travels down to Hades?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I know this one. Yeah, this is a good one. Okay.
Everyone loves this theremin player, including, what was her name? Eurydice?
Eurydice.
Okay,
yeah.
And they fall.
This is a good story, but the ending I felt was extremely stupid and lackluster. So let's watch.
Fall in love, and all is well.
So she's a beautiful woman, and he loves her very much, and he plays beautiful music for her, and the music makes everyone happy, and it's more than just that. It also encourages things to grow, and everyone loves this dude. And his lady walks off, goes into the forest, and there, I think she's running away, and she gets bitten by a snake. She was in a NordVPN ad. It was region locked, so they couldn't suck out the poison. And so she died and she went down to Hades.
He named it after himself, which,
Yeah.
that just saves time, I suppose. It might be a little bit confusing.
Yeah, but most of the time in mythology, it's always referred to as underworld. Rarely people says Hades.
Going to Hades. Oh, how was he? Oh, well, I didn't actually see him, but I went to his house. So Orpheus finds his wife dead and is stricken, so he has to go get his wife back from Hades. So he walks to Hades through like a hole in the ground, I believe.
Yes. He goes down these thousands and thousands of steps and he reaches the river Styx. And there he sees the boatman.
The boatman. I like to think of the boatman with like headphones on. He's not really that enthusiastic about his job.
No, well, why would you be at that point? Yeah. Same old, same old. What do you want?
Hi, yeah, I'm Orpheus. I'm a pretty major musician in the upper world. You might have heard of me.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's good that I reminded you of it then. Anyway, I'm new in town and I'm looking for the best boat service possible to get me straight to Hades. The guy, not the place.
Well, it's just me, and you're not getting on because you're clearly alive.
Well, I mean, I don't think you should hold it against me. What is this? Oh, I didn't expect to run into such prejudice in this eternal lake of fire and sinners.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't mean to discriminate. I was some of my best friends are alive.
Where can you take me? What part of hell can you take me that's close?
Listen, you can't get on the boat. People need to pay me to get on this boat. Man's got to make a living. I don't know what I do with the cash. I don't know why there is a toll to pay for this ferry. Because to be
We all know you buy beer and watch Netflix. Come on.
honest, I just take all these coins and I put them over here in this big pile. It's kind of like a Scrooge McDuck thing. Listen, I'm not a man easily convinced. You're either dead or you're not getting on the boat.
What if I told you that this was a mission for love?
I wouldn't be moved unless there was some sort of music that you were going to play on the lyre.
What can persuade this boatman, I wonder to myself? Perhaps a banging tune on my lyre.
Yeah, alright, I'm going to take off my headphones. Go on. Can you do Toto? Africa? I like that one.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what every lyre player knows how to do, Toto. Raining men. Oh, that's another song. That will do.
You know what? I'm convinced. That's a beautiful tune. I'm so moved. I'm going to take you down the river.
Terrific.
Wipe your shoes first.
Sure. What am I seeing in hell?
Oh man, there's a whole bunch of lost souls underneath you. Yeah, you get used to the wailing. Over there's a fire. It doesn't go out for some reason.
There's random fire.
I don't know what else there is down here, to be honest. Last and only stop. Don't forget to give me a good rating on Uber.
Sure, no worries.
5 stars, please.
Thanks. Surely it'd be lift as hell.
What, no tip? There's bottled water in the back.
I would have given a tip, but the whistle-stop tour of the adulterers lining up in front of a little guillotine really bummed me out. So,
Oh, sorry.
That ruined the
Sorry,
whole
you
trip.
get down to Hades. Fee fi fo fum, who's this?
great Lord Hades, it is I, Orpheus.
What? He just arrived at Hades? What about the Cerberus, three-headed dog who guards the gate of the underworld? I thought there would be some clever thing internet historian would show about him. He somehow sings to him to sleep or something, and then gets in.
Yes, famous musician of the overground.
Who?
Don't worry about it. People know me. It's okay. Anyway, I'm here for my girlfriend. You've got her, and I'd like to take her back to the top world, please and thank you.
I don't think so, actually. Once someone comes down to Hades, they don't ever leave. And my wife's here to back me up. Oh, yeah, no, actually, you don't get to leave. And you know what? I'm a pretty big deal. So I'm going to have a second wife. And you know what? Her name's going to be Eurydice.
What? Oh, Hades, you're out of line.
2 wives, innit? Twice as good.
Oh, but she's my wife.
Well,
Isn't it?
I'm in charge.
That's true. But I feel like I can persuade you by Toto in Africa.
Okay, alright, cracking tune. You know what? I think it's good. But I am still unmoved. But, hold on a minute.
Wife.
Oh, my wife. Oh, she's crying. She is moved. Oh, please, Hades. Oh, please, let him have his wife back. You know what? I'm gonna make you a deal. This one time, I'm gonna let someone have their wife back. But, special conditions. she's going to leave behind you, and she will not make any noise whatsoever. But you must not turn around to see that she is there. And if you do turn around, then she will be mine forever.
I'm just making notes as you say this. So, got it.
This is the most stupid things I've ever, felt. The story always progressed. When I first heard about this story and, read about this story, I'm like, okay, there's going to be some great thing. But no, it's just basically, don't turn around or she will go back to darkness. She won't come out with you. He goes all the way to exit and just like, maybe he's duping me, and just looks behind. At the end, she just goes back, and that's the whole story. I mean, like, come on, man.
Walking behind me.
Yep.
Don't turn around.
Yep.
Got it. Well, that seems simple enough there, Hades. I'm sure that won't be a problem.
All right, I have to go.
Out through the little fire exit.
I believe he plays the lyre on the way out to try and guide her out or something like that.
This guy is very self-involved, isn't he? He's always...
Every solution involves the lyre. Yep. It's like Wolverine. Every solution is the claws.
So he walks out. For some reason, he wants to look behind him because he can't hear her. So he looks.
No, don't look.
And she just is there, and then she just slowly gets pulled back into hell.
Do you remember what happens next?
A bit of a blur from here. I think Orpheus is pretty upset
Yeah, he gets brutally murdered.
about what went down.
Sure is.
Probably plays a sad song in the
This is
lyre to
annoying.
himself.
More than just a sad song. So there he is, and it's driving everyone mad. If I remember correctly, women are miscarrying, people are killing themselves, crops aren't growing properly.
That is a bad song.
That's a bad song, and he's playing this way for days and days, and then eventually the villagers go, fuck this, and they decide to kill him.
I'm reading it here. It's a group of irate women, they've called it, which I think is very funny. The women kill him and cut his body into pieces and throw him and his lyre into the river. Outrageous. That's
That's a bummer.
yeah. Poor Orpheus.
I don't know if it's going to be trite to point out the whole problem with Icarus. I suppose the Greeks have never been up high before, and they just didn't know that actually things get colder up there, and anyway, he's flying along, and the wings are made of feathers and wax, and apparently the wax melts, but that doesn't make no sense, because it gets colder, innit?
I've never considered...
Yeah, there is so less particle as you go up. It's way less particle. If there's less particle, there will be way less heat, because heat requires the density of particles. If it's less dense, it's not going to be that much heat.
Considered that aspect of the myth. You've got your time machine, and you go back to ancient Greece to find whoever made this myth, because obviously you need to correct them with all the intensity of someone in the comments who needs to correct your incorrect facts.
Yeah, like a scorning teacher.
Exactly. Actually, Daedalus, or whoever told this myth, when you go up high, it actually gets colder. Do you know much about Socrates?
Socrates?
From most descriptions, he was just
That annoying guy. Any of you played Assassin's Creed Odyssey would know that annoying morality guy. Every time you do something, he always comes with the questions to you and all about morality. Doesn't matter what you say, he always has this weird way of making you feel shitty. The morality guy.
like a rambling madman who walked around with no shoes on, but everyone thought he was pretty wise.
There were people who were more...
How is this mythology though? This is an actual person existed, and this is an actual history.
rambling and more mad, but he was certainly one of them. He used to go around accosting people in the
philosophy center.
Yeah, and he used to just ask people questions until they submitted. Yeah, he used to go, oh, what's a horse?
Annoying.
And they go, oh, I don't know, about 60 quid. No, what is a horse? And they go, oh, well, it's a big creature with 4 legs. You go, oh, okay, so is every creature that's big and has 4 legs a horse? Well, no, there's elephants and giraffes. Oh, okay. So what makes a horse then? Well, you can...
If he existed today, he would constantly get punched in the face.
ride on it. He would just ask questions and questions and questions.
He sounds incredible.
Insufferable.
Yeah, totally obnoxious.
That's why he was executed.
Yeah, they made him drink poison. It was just like, I've had enough of this guy. There's just 2 ancient Greek dudes hanging out in the philosophy center, just chatting away, just like, oh yeah, maybe I've heard there might be war with Sparta. Oh shit, it's Socrates, he's here, act normal. Hey guys, ever wonder if we're all living in a cave? Man, we're not, man, like, this guy.
Look, I do shadow puppets. We don't want to see the shadow puppets again. Not again.
This is the thing about philosophy in general. It's all about, like, contrary knowledge. It's all about going, oh, you think the world works this way? Well, what if it worked like this?
I think the world goes a little something like this. He was charged and found guilty of blasphemy.
Yes.
And for corrupting the youth, I think.
Well, yes, he had a bit of a history of that, didn't he? Allegedly.
Not the sodomy. They mean like corrupting the youth's minds.
Yes.
By doing the blasphemy.
There's that famous painting of him being handed his poison.
He was like 72 or something when he died, wasn't he?
Ah.
I think the idea was that he figured, well, what I got now is further decline. I guess I may as well.
Come on, man. For that time, Athens, that many thousands of years ago, 72 is not bad. Come on.
Go, boy, he's loving it. He's loving it. Chugging it down.
So this is what I've always been waiting for. This is why I've been annoying you all for so long.
Anyway, so I was correct.
Like, everyone's interpreted this painting to mean like, oh, I'm so sad. When really they're just like, thank God, he's finally gonna shut the fuck up.
On the left here with the curly hair,
my
he's just
God.
slamming his head against the wall. Shut up, shut up.
Yes.
Dude, he's a little more tolerant. This dude is going, just drink it. Just come on, man. Hurry up.
Come on, man.
And then this guy's got his hand over his ears.
Oh, this is awesome, the way he paints the picture. He's like, oh my God, drink it already. And the guy's hitting his head. And he's like, come on, drink it, otherwise I'll shove it in myself. And this guy's fallen asleep because he's so bored. Like, oh my God, he's annoying, and fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually does. Just like, this guy has got to go.
Anyway, so that's the reason why Season 8 of Game of Thrones wasn't actually that bad. Oh, fuck.
Don't throw rocks in a glass house. Never quite understood the meaning of that
How
phrase.
is that a
What,
mythology?
glass houses?
Yeah, so why shouldn't people... I mean, obviously, they shouldn't throw rocks in a glass house to break the glass, but what are they... What kind of behavior is that supposed to...
It's a thing against hypocrisy, so a small amount of criticism in return could also do a huge amount of damage, because the person who's living in the glass house is guilty of so much.
That's what I was missing. Guilty of walking around in just a t-shirt. Not completely naked, a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That, I just think that's more offensive.
We can do Fables, right?
Yeah, let's do Fables.
Yeah!
Why the
Okay.
hell not? There you go.
What, Aesop's?
Aesop's and the Grimm's ones, they're good.
Aesop, I've always thought is just such a stupid name. Like,
Yeah.
it reminds me of, you ever have a bad handshake?
Of course, yes.
It
Conan
reminds
and
me
PewDiePie.
of that phenomenon where someone just puts their limp hand in your hand to shake it. You go, oh yeah, that's an Aesop.
That's...
You know what I
that
mean?
is spot on, because it's almost like an onomatopoeia, because that's what the handshake sounds like as well, that Aesop.
Yeah, always giving me a bloody Aesop. Oh, I'm doing all the work.
There is, of course, the other bad form of handshake, which is the overly aggressive, asserting dominance handshake.
Donald
That's what you
Trump
call a
handshake.
grim.
That's a grim handshake, I like it.
A short story typically with animals as characters conveying a moral. Oh, okay. I only know about 3 of these fables. Maybe 4. Okay, so there's the turtle and the hare, the scorpion and the frog, the fox with the grapes.
Oh, I don't know
and
that
there's-
one.
You don't know sour grapes?
No, oh, is it where the term comes from?
Yeah. Okay, so this is nicely
Yeah, this is a
presented.
lovely little
Look at this.
website.
Read.gov.
Gov. This is what the government wants you to read. Government-sanctioned mythology right here. Don't listen to them.
A fox one day spied a beautiful bunch of ripe grapes hanging from a vine. The grapes seemed ready to burst with juice, and the fox's mouth watered as he gazed longingly at them. The bunch hung from the high branch, and the fox had to jump for it. The first time he jumped, he missed it by a long way.
Alright. So I'm watching an internet historian video. Internet historian whose secondary channel which has over 1 million subscribers. And I'm at the point where I'm reacting to a video which is talking a simple children's fable. I never thought I would read a children's fable ever again, but okay.
So he walked off a short distance and took a running leap at it, only to fall short once again. And again he tried, but in vain. Now he sat down and looked at the grapes in disgust. "What a fool I am," he said. "Here I am wearing myself out to get a bunch of sour grapes that are not worth, grasping for." And he walked off very, very scornfully. Yeah, so he's like, "Well, I fucking want it anyway. You bitch grapes,
There are those who pretend.
So that's where the term sour grapes comes from.
I didn't know that. That's actually a really good story.
Alright, we're going to look at some images, and you tell me which myth this is from. This is going to be like a quiz. Audience, you can join in on this one.
Mythbusters, if you... Oh, wait, that one's taken.
Myth Destroyers.
Myth Pounders. Okay, what's that? That's an underworld story, for sure.
Yeah, this is those three ladies what only share an
This is that one. There was in also the movie, it even says here, the Sister of Fate. Yeah, the three Sister of Fate with one eye. This is also in the movie, I think, Clash of Titan or Wrath of Titan. I'm not sure. That's the one this is. Sister of Fate.
eye.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing that as a kid. I haven't thought about that myth since I was a kid. It's super creepy.
And so everybody's life has a string, and then they cut the string. Well, it's no good. They've got the titles at the top here. Alright, look away.
I would have got that one anyway. It's fine.
Alright, who's this?
Oh, it's thingy.
Pandora's Box, I think.
She's got a box. I know who she is. I can remember, I've seen that box before.
Oh, okay. Look at this one.
Hey,
who's this?
Perseus.
Well, that's
and
Medusa's head in the middle. So, who cut off Medusa's head?
I'm not giving you any clues. It's in another episode in the field. You should
It's
know
a
this
movie.
one.
Oh, a real fan would know.
Yeah.
Perseus.
Yay! Who's this?
Old guy dying.
Yep.
Authority figures there. Lots of people are trying to kill him. It's Jeffrey Epstein. Murder of Jeffrey Epstein.
You got it.
That's accurate.
Next one. Who's this fella?
That can
Hercules.
only be Hercules. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Alright. Why is he fighting naked? Is he trying to kill it or... Alright, let's just move on.
Not be fighting a lion nudes. Add time.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
Activate.
This is a message to everyone out there. Our privacy's in danger. We have to do something.
68% off a 2-year plan. Protect your internet privacy. International content. Plus a free extra month.
So they actually paid someone to sing this.
David and Goliath? I think that one's pretty good.
What's the moral of David and Goliath?
I think it's supposed to be about sort of overcoming the odds. But I've heard an interpretation by Malcolm Gladwell that I thought was really good. Have you ever heard this one where it's like...
I don't think I have. What does Gladders say?
You've got two armies, and you're cross from one another on a field. You're there in the Bronze Age. You're about to stab each other with these horribly blunt weapons and hurt each other and maim each other. And, you know, you might have 2,000 troops on one side, 2,000 troops on the other, and you're all fairly evenly matched. The idea is that, you know what, instead of 4,000 of us getting potentially injured or killed, we'll take our strongest fighter and put him on the front lines, and you take your strongest fighter and put him on the front lines, and these two will duel, and whoever wins the battle.
So that's really good diplomacy. I think we should do that now.
It is a good idea, right? His argument is that actually...
I don't think that's just an argument. People did that back then. But that's not the story is about. The story is basically the way of saying that it's not always about the big guy and muscular guy. It's always about tactics and intelligence too. So it's not that someone's big and muscular, so that's going to win. Somebody small and slimmer, but that might be more intelligent and can use more tactics to win. That's the story behind it, I think. But in this world, if that were the case, Goliath basically would have taken down David and pummeled him to death. Simple wrestling move. Tackle him down.
Actually, David had a massive advantage all along.
Technology.
Yeah, well, basically.
Yeah.
He goes into what effectively a slingshot was back in the day. So apparently, these guys used to be incredibly accurate with their slingshots. They all used to practice slinging because they were shepherds, and so that was your main weapon against things that were going to eat your flock.
Wolves.
Yeah, exactly. And foxes and large crows and such.
Monsters that live in the backs of theatres.
Yeah,
potentially.
Mento.
Yeah, like really good ideas, IP-wise, just saying.
The other thing about a sling is that actually it's an incredibly powerful weapon. Like, you can very easily kill someone with a sling. They've recorded it's like the equivalent of like a 32 caliber bullet if you get hit by a rock from a sling. And so basically it's the story of a man with a knife going up against a man with a gun.
Yeah, the moral of the story is bring a gun to a knife fight.
Or at least wear a helmet.
Yes.
No, the moral of the story is, basically use tools. Don't just use brute strength. That's the moral of the story is. It's not just always about size and brute strength. Use your mind, use tools, things like that. It's not always, the big guy is going to win because he's big. It's not like that's the moral of the story, I think.
That is the lesson according to Goliath, if you take his perspective.
If David comes along and he goes, oh, you know what, I'm the toughest fighter from my village. And then Goliath's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, kid. And then David goes, oh, I found a stone. Look at this. And then basically hits them with the gun of their day.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you can't just. This is cheating. And everybody charge,
You're right, it was like set up like this samurai duel of honor. And this kid walks up and hollows some guy's head out in front of everyone. To be fair though, it's consistent with David's character. Do you know what he ends up doing after this?
Becomes
goes on
king.
Uh,
massive bender.
He does do that, invades loads of places, becomes king.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so a bit of an
Steals
upgrade from
someone's
shepherd.
wife.
He becomes king of Israel. And then he spots a woman that he really likes far away, taking a shower from his palace, and he's like, I like her.
Really?
Yeah, he sees this beautiful, I've never seen a woman that beautiful before. This is a part of the story that I've never quite understood about, is that he sees this woman bathing from his palace, so I
Yeah,
don't
how
know
does
how
he do
he's
that?
managing that. But
Well, she's living in a glass house.
there we go, explains it, perfect. Anyway, so he goes over and she's like, I'm the king, so you should think about upgrading. And she's like, well, actually, my husband fights in your army, so it'd be a little bit dishonorable. So David goes back, finds out who this guy is, sends him to the front line and has him killed and takes his wife.
Oh.
That's the story, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Not so
story.
pleasant.
Midas,
favourite
this is
myth?
awesome.
My favorite myth. Ooh, King Midas is one of my favorites. The king who wishes to turn everything to gold.
Yes. So there's a guy. His name's Midas. One day... Oh, who the hell's Ovid?
Oh, he's a poet. He wrote the Metamorphoses. Yeah, so a lot of the myths are sort of formalized because he's the first one who actually got it down on paper.
Alright, so he retains the copyright.
Yes, exactly.
So one day, Dionysus found that his old schoolmaster and foster father, the satyr Silenus...
The old satyr had been drinking wine and wandering away drunk to be found by some Pythagorean peasants who carried him to their king, Midas. Midas treated him nice, 10 days in hospital, told him stories and songs. For someone governing a major Greek state, he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
And on the 11th day, he brought him back to Dionysus, the god of debauchery and drinking, and then he gets a reward.
You may have one wish. And then, oddly, he decides, anything I touch will turn into gold? Midas rejoices at his new power, which he has hastened to put to the test. He touches an oak twig and a stone, both turn to gold. Overjoyed, as soon as he got home, he touched...
This is basically the moral story of you should always use your words very carefully. Lawyers basically tells them this story every day, I guess. So it's just basically he touches everything that turns to gold. Everything is just awesome. Then realize, man, I can't even eat because my food turns to gold. He even turns his daughter to gold. There's something like that.
Every rose in the rose garden, and they all became gold. He ordered the servants to set a feast on the table. Upon discovering how even the food and drink turned to gold in his hands, he regretted his wish and cursed it.
Here's one loophole I don't think he thought of. Could he not hold something and then have the thing that he actually wants to hold in the thing?
They said that he was about to starve to death, so must not have worked. Otherwise, unless he's just dumb.
If we are going to technical, wouldn't his mouth... Okay, so it's just basically touch. But he didn't say touch with his hands. Wouldn't his mouth turn everything to gold? Even if he could use the golden fork.
Like, really dumb. Like, keeps picking up another apple and go, oh, not this one again.
I wonder if this is in some way linked to the magical gambit I made earlier this afternoon.
Dude, that'd be the worst. Could you imagine, like, testing all that stuff? Because I suppose you'd go, like, I'm so hungry, I guess I won't use my hands then. So you get some chopsticks, and you start putting stuff in your mouth, and then it touches your lips, then it just turns to gold. That would be the worst.
Does gold just taste like pennies? Because it's gold, I assume it tastes better than the inferior metals.
Yeah, I think it's got, like, even less flavor than, pennies.
It's just pennies. There's nothing worse. You're in a situation and you accidentally taste pennies because you know something's gone wrong. It's like, not the penny taste.
Hold on, so is he turning the air particles that go into his lungs into gold? Because you're breathing in bits of dust too. Surely they would turn to gold.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we are going really scientific and technical, what about the air particles? He doesn't just breathe in, that is around him. His skin touches all the air particles. So doesn't it turn all the air particles into dust of gold or something? Won't that systematically change every single air around it and eventually of the planet into gold? Systematically killing every species on the planet? How is his feet not turning the ground into gold?
Yes, so I think particles or maybe gases are exempt from his gold touching powers.
No, wait, his clothes, the clothes on his body, would instantly turn to gold then, you would think.
You would think. I think, as is the nature of myths, I think they have to
Alright, whoever created this myth did not go very scientific about it.
Sacrifice a bit of conceptual clarity, and when you have a character like the Hulk show up, like, he's always got to break his clothes in the right way, otherwise you just have would have to have a bit of exposition in every film of just like, oh, do you see the Hulk's cock? Yeah, it is distressingly big. I'm scared.
It's exceedingly muscular with foreskin and scrotum.
The loophole is necessary for storytelling as well as everything else, I suppose.
Yeah. Bro, it's... No, never mind. Yeah, I'll throw that thought away. It was just more about the Hulk's balls. Go on.
I know, tell me more about the Hulk's balls. That's great.
Well, I don't know. Is it regenerative? If you got, like, circumcised as a kid or something, does it grow back?
Regenerative powers.
Does the Hulk have regenerative powers, or is he just super strong?
Is that what happens to Wolverine, though?
Yeah, I mean, you can...
Hulk is just strong. Even though scientifically that doesn't make sense, because you can't change mass like that. So only way he would get bigger if his mass stays the same way, but his volume gets bigger. In that sense, he won't get stronger. He would be like sponge. He would be extremely, fluffy, I guess.
You can almost certainly suggest that Wolverine is uncircumcised.
In a version told by Nathaniel Hawthorne, Midas' daughter... Wait a minute. Is the daughter thing not in the original?
King Midas' daughter is not canon.
What the fuck? In the version told by Nathaniel Hawthorne in the Wonder Book for Boys and Girls. That's nice. That's a nice title.
That's so wholesome.
The Wonder Book. And Midas' daughter came to him, upset about the roses, and that had lost their fragrance and became hard. And when he reached out to comfort her, found that he touched his daughter, and she turned soon to... So that version of the story...
Ah, it's from 1852.
What?
Didn't know that.
This is not proper Greek mythology. I always thought it's part of it, man. Somebody modified it. So in original Greek mythology, there is no mention of daughter getting turned into gold, huh?
Honestly, that's a genuine improvement.
Yeah, it's kind of like the peak of the conflict in the story.
Yeah, it's good. It's way better storytelling. Well done, Nathaniel Hawthorne. You've improved a classic. You say we should write a wonder book for girls and boys.
We should get Nathaniel in on it.
The wonder book for e-girls and incels.
That's not bad.
Buy a wonder book for e-girls and incels. As approved by the internet historian, that's canon now, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Midas didn't do anything wrong. He shouldn't really be punished forever.
No, disagree.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Midas did so, and when he touched the waters, the power flowed into the river, and the river sands turned into gold. This explained why the river Pactolus was so rich in gold.
We were wrong this whole time. This isn't
So water didn't turn into gold, but the sand did. Okay.
a story about, like, not being materialistic. It's just a story about why there's gold in the river.
Yeah, I love that idea. Like, Ovid shows up.
Yeah.
He's like, what? That's what you took from the story? No, I was explaining why I'm holding this gold pan.
It's all about the
And up
gold.
to me ankles.
I feel
Don't
like
care
this
about
myth
moral
is
of the
just
story, it's just
constantly
gold.
misunderstood. It is about properly checking for loopholes in whatever agreement you make.
Be greedy, but be smartly
Yes.
greedy.
If King Midas had gone to his attorney and said, just want you to
Mindful of the words, man. Words are powerful. That kind of mentality.
maybe look at this witch and see if there might be anything that might backfire dramatically.
You're allowed to put caveats with your wish, right? So surely you could get around all of this stuff by just adding a clause that says, in the way that I hope for and the desired results expect.
That's great. That is the perfect magic wish loophole avoider.
There is always going to be loopholes. So the moral of the story is, if some powerful entity come to you and give you some kind of wish, permanent wish, you just say no.
That's what King Midas should have done.
Yep, you should have talked to us first.
Exactly. He should have consulted us.
I'm sure there's practical uses for it, though. Like, if you were... No, hold on. There must be one practical use of being able to immediately turn something into gold.
I'm trying to think about it, because the main thing is to have a lot of gold.
Okay, I've got one.
I'm impressed that you've got even one, because I've been trying to think of one.
You're at war
Uh-huh.
with the Japanese.
Not again.
Okay, no. You're at war, and you decide to hire some Japanese ninjas.
Cool.
You could take out some parchment and cut it into shuriken or whatever they're...
Shurikens,
Shuriken?
yeah.
Shaped stars, and then have Midas go swing over them, and then you could probably still throw them. Shall we wrap it up there? We need we need a bit of...
Anyway, what's the point of gold if you turn everything into gold? The inflation would come into play. You know, the gold's value would go immensely down. I mean, come on.
an outro, innit?
Yeah. Oh. Let's do something brave and original.
Well, I'm about to jump into my Hindenburg 2 and float away.
I'm gonna go sleep in my glass house, unlike all you losers who can't even be seen while sleeping.
Alright.
See you later.
See you later. Oh no!
Tinder was gonna crash into glass
that massive
house.
antenna on the top of your glass house. No!
It's the only way I can know the truth.
The humanity.
Okay, I've got to go now. I'm being beamed up by 8G signals, so it's gonna be really fast. Back on.
I gotta go. I'm dead. A big fireball. Subscribe to Ordinary Things. He's criminally undersubbed. Also, get NordVPN.
Alright. The way they make their videos, it just feels like they didn't put any effort. But then they, gave some money to somebody to sing a song for NordVPN. I mean, that was just incredible. It's confusing whenever you watch Interhistory video. When you see the graphics, did they put any effort and money into it? But then you see certain effects on it, like damn, that it requires lots of effort and money. So it just confuses sometimes. It has become this charm. The internet historian video always feels like they're just doing this and not putting any effort, but it does. It requires lots of effort. So yeah, they covered I think 2-3 mythologies here. Some of them were like Socrates was not really mythology, it's just history. But yeah, that guy is just damn annoying. There's lots of... I hope he does a part 2 of this, because there are lots of mythologies that he can get through. It's just awesome. When I was a kid, I was really fascinated by Greek mythology, and I learned a lot about them. It's fun. I was one of the few people in my friends circle when I watched Clash of the Titans. They're like, They recognize some names like Medusa and things like that, but I knew everything that was happening because I knew a lot of our Greek mythology. This was a good video. He's saying he's going to upload another video on his main channel, so that's going to be a really detailed topic video, so it's going to be awesome. Alright, if you like my reaction, please don't forget to like and subscribe.